Track 3. Mindful Journaling to Clear Your Mind. The purpose of this track is to use the practice of mindful journaling to get the noise out of your head, to shift your consciousness from negative to positive so that you can more easily become mindful of all of the blessings of life, which are all found in the present moment. If your head is already clear and you are already feeling delightfully positive, you can switch to track 4, which is a mindful celebration of life. But if there's something going on that you would like to feel better about, I'm going to start by having you acknowledge anything that doesn't seem the way you want it to be. And then as you allow yourself to become mindful of that and journal the name of that, it will be released from your consciousness. As you clear your mind this way by naming whatever is going on that you do not like, you will begin to experience a lessening of tension and a movement towards peace. It will feel like a shift into a more resourceful state, and as you continue upwards in consciousness, life will shortly feel good again. To begin this process, let's start with a minute or so of the meditation of doing nothing. This is pure mindfulness, which brings us back into the present moment so that we can notice what's really going on. To do this, just stop what you are doing and allow your awareness of all of life to become greater. As you step back from your life experience, notice what's really going on. Notice how your body feels, how your emotions feel, what you may be thinking. Become mindful of this experience. And as you do this, let that other part of yourself give that experience a name, such as a single word or a short phrase that perfectly describes what is going on. And when you have sensed that perfect word or phrase, write it down and notice how it feels to do that. If there is any noise in your head, allow yourself to become mindful of that. Give it a name and write that name down with the intention of releasing this burden forever. If there is any emotional pain going on, allow yourself to become mindful of that. Give it a name and write that name down with the intention of releasing this burden forever. If there is any physical pain or discomfort in your body, allow yourself to become mindful of that. Give it a name and write that name down with the intention of releasing this burden forever. If there is anything going on in your life that you don't like, allow yourself to become mindful of that. Give it a name and write that name down with the intention of releasing this burden forever. One more time. If there is any feeling of life not being the way you want it to be, of a physical symptom, or a mental tension, a feeling of stress, or a tension in your physical body, such as a tightness in your neck, shoulders, or lower back, allow yourself to become mindful of that, give it a name, and write that name down, with the intention of releasing this burden forever. As you notice that you are breathing, if there is an emotion that you are feeling that you don't like, allow yourself to become mindful of that, give it a name, and write that name down with the intention of releasing this burden forever. As you notice that you are breathing, if there is a thought that you are thinking that you don't like, allow yourself to become mindful of that, give it a name, and write that name down with the intention of releasing this burden forever. As you notice that you are breathing, allow your thought and feeling to just be inside you. Do not resist them. They are just energy. There is nothing to fear. Just give them a name and write that name down. Step back from life. Notice what's going on. Let the words come out onto the paper. Acknowledge what's really happening. Do not be afraid of it. Just give it a name and write that name down. This is a safe place and a safe way to release your feeling of stress. Do not censor yourself. If you are upset with someone or something, just allow yourself to become mindful of that. Give it a name and write that name down. This is a method of forgiveness. When you give a voice to the noise in your head and write it down, it will go away and be replaced by peace. All you need is a single word or short phrase. As you give a voice to what you have been feeling and write it down, notice that you feel a sense of release and shortly begin to feel better. You can use the same name more than once, or use fresh words every time. As you begin to shift from negative to positive, notice how refreshing it feels to begin to give a voice to positive thoughts and feelings, which have been there in your consciousness all this time. They were just hidden under the noise. Notice as you do this that you seem to be feeling softer, less negative, more positive. This is the true function of confession. which is found in all forms of religious practice and all forms of psychotherapy, because it works. As you talk to the paper as if it were a trusted friend, and confess to yourself what you have been experiencing, notice that as you do this, that the burden is beginning to lift, that you are feeling better. Your body is already feeling healthier as you begin to get a polarity shift from negative to positive. Notice that your energy is beginning to shift even just a little bit. In fact, every time you make a journal entry, your energy shifts more positive, even just a little bit. As you keep bearing witness to what is really happening, notice that you are feeling more peaceful. Your amygdala is beginning to shut down the fight or flight response. Your breathing is becoming slower. Your pulse rate is slowing down. Your immune system is coming back to life. All of your bodily systems are coming back into balance. Notice as you continue to tell the truth that your truth is beginning to feel more positive. You are feeling less negative than when you started. As you continue to calm down, the hormones in your bloodstream start to shift towards that parasympathetic response that brings healing. There is a chemical shift in your body from pain to peace. As this shift gains in momentum, endorphins, the body's natural healing substances, are released that shift you into an even more positive place. You may find yourself taking a deep breath. You may find yourself having a big sigh. You begin to notice that things are different. Things are better. Have you noticed that life is beginning to feel better? It is feeling better. Notice that you are beginning to feel more relaxed and at ease. At some point, you may even find that you don't need to journal anymore. You will feel that the noise is out of your head. No more noise. Isn't that a wonderful place to be? So relaxing, so peaceful, so health-giving. You may get so peaceful that your eyes close and you begin to relax deeply. In fact, why don't you do just that? close your eyes and begin to relax deeply. And continue to listen to the sound of my voice. Begin to be mindful of how good life feels. Notice that the noise in your head is gone. Notice how much more peaceful you are beginning to feel. Notice that you are breathing in and that you are breathing out. As you notice your breath moving in and your breath moving out, you are now in a state of healthy mindfulness. Notice that your body is already beginning to feel better. Notice how good you feel, how relaxed you are. Notice that mindfulness feels good. Mindfulness feels like a good thing. Now you want to be mindful. No need to journal anymore. Continue on to the next track to experience pure mindfulness.